U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he will move to normalize relations with Syria's new government and lift sanctions.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the war on Gaza will continue regardless of potential further hostage deals until Hamas is fully destroyed.
U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he will move to normalize relations with Syria's new government and lift sanctions. He said the effort at rapprochement came at the urging of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi de facto ruler, who he was meeting in Riyadh.
Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince. The sanctions were brutal and crippling and served as an important function, nevertheless, at the time. But now it's their time to shine. It's their time to shine. We're taking them all off, and they're going to have, I think they're going to have, based on the people and the spirit and everything else that I'm hearing about. So I say good luck, Syria. Show us something very special like they've done, frankly, in Saudi Arabia. Okay, they're going to show us something special.
The comments marked a striking change in tone from Trump, who had until now been deeply skeptical of Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara. Trump was set to meet al-Shara in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday, which would be the first Syrian leader to meet an American president since the late Hafez Assad met Bill Clinton in Geneva in 2000.
U.S. President Donald Trump landed in Riyadh to kick off his Gulf tour with a delegation that includes Tesla CEO and advisor Elon Musk. Business deals and regional security are at the top of the agenda. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman greeted Trump as he stepped off Air Force One, and the two leaders are attending the Saudi-U.S. Investment Forum on Tuesday. Earlier this year, Saudi Arabia pledged a $600 billion investment, which President Trump has said he would like to boost to $1 trillion. He'll join a summit of Gulf leaders in Riyadh before traveling to Doha. The visit to Qatar is the first by a sitting president since 2003 and is a strong demonstration of the bilateral relationship between the two countries. President Trump has hailed Qatar's mediation efforts in Lebanon, Afghanistan, and North Africa as examples of the country's key diplomatic role in regional stability. President Trump's final stop on the tour concludes in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, where he would have hoped to secure major financial deals and regional security agreements with the three strategic allies in the Middle East before returning to Washington. Adil Halim, Euronews, Doha.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country will proceed with operations in Gaza regardless of whether or not a new hostage deal is reached with Hamas. Netanyahu stressed that the war will only end upon the realization of Israel's objectives, namely the destruction of Hamas. The Israeli premier also noted that a major offensive on the enclave is imminent.
להשמיד את החמאס. עכשיו הכוחות נמצאים שם. יכול להיות שהחמאס יגיד, פוס פוס פוס, אנחנו רוצים עוד לשחרר עוד אסירה בשביל, תבין, ניקח, ואחר כך ניכנס. אבל לא יהיה מצב שאנחנו נפסיק את המלחמה, אני לא אומר, אתה יכול לעשות הפסקת אש לזמן ידוע, אבל אתה לא יכול, אנחנו הולכים עד הסוף.
On Monday, Hamas released American-Israeli hostage Idan Alexander as a gesture of goodwill to U.S. President Donald Trump. Alexander was the first hostage released since Israel broke an 8-week ceasefire agreement on the 18th of March. Israel has also vowed to intensify its strikes on Gaza in the days and weeks to come, including seizing the Strip. More than 2,700 Palestinians were killed since the expiration of the truce, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry.
German authorities banned the far-right group Kingdom of Germany on Tuesday, raiding properties and arresting 4 leaders, including founder Peter Fitzek. The organization is linked to the Reichsbürger movement, which rejects the modern German state. Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt said its estimated 1,000 members, whose claim to power is underpinned by anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, form the counter-state along with economic criminal structures.
Ich sage hier ausdrücklich, es handelt sich hier nicht, was vielleicht auch so ein Titel des Vereins vermuten lassen könnte, harmlose Nostalgiker, sondern es handelt sich hier kriminelle Strukturen und ein kriminelles Netzwerk, und deswegen wird es heute verboten. Zum Zweck und zu diesem Zweck wurden Liegenschaften erworben, Teilorganisationen gegründet, wie eine sogenannte Königliche Reichsbank oder eine sogenannte Deutsche Heilfürsorge, mittels derer Geldmittel beschafft wurden.
The Kingdom of Germany was proclaimed in 2012, claiming to be separate from the federal government. Berlin has long warned of the growing far-right extremist threat and conducted previous crackdowns. In March, 5 Reichsbürger plotters were jailed, after 25 others were arrested in December 2022 for a similar coup plan.
Bosnian's presidency and European Council President Antonio Costa met in Sarajevo, united in ambition but divided in outlook. Costa called for de-escalation, swift reforms and warned against the secession rhetoric and threats to Bosnians' sovereignty. He reminded leaders that peace and progress depend on their cooperation and highlighted the benefits of European Union membership, including the new growth plan. Chairwoman Željka Cvijanović blamed the lack of progress on what she called unconstitutional interference by international actors, singling out High Representative Christian Smith. The other two presidency members described the current political crisis as the worst in 3 decades, blaming entity leader Milorad Dodik and growing pro-Russian influence in Republika Srpska. Amid the political crisis discussions today, Lithuania and Poland had imposed sanctions on Milorad Dodik. Dolmina Čorbić, Euronews, Sarajevo.
The United Nations Aviation Agency has found Russia guilty of downing Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 while it flew over Ukraine in July 2014. The commercial plane was flying from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. All 298 people on board the flight were killed. A Dutch-led international investigation concluded in 2016 that the aircraft was shot down with a Buk missile system delivered from Russia. The UN's case against Russia was launched by the Netherlands and Australia in 2022, and now they have welcomed the verdict. Moscow has repeatedly denied downing the plane and has offered a variety of other theories of what could have happened. However, an abundance of evidence and numerous international investigations have formed a detailed picture of the events leading up to the plane crash.
After French actor Gérard Depardieu was found guilty of sexually assaulting 2 women on the set of a movie, one of the plaintiffs, a 54-year-old set dresser, said she was moved following the court decision.
Je suis émue, satisfaite de cette décision, très heureuse, assez fière même, je vais utiliser le mot, je suis assez fière et je voudrais redonner espoir à toutes les femmes qui sont en attente de procès.
Depardieu has also been accused publicly of misconduct by some 20 other women and may have to face other legal proceedings soon. French Minister of Culture Rachida Dati said she is committed to combating all forms of violence in the cultural sector.
Si j'étais magistrat, j'ai pris des mesures très coercitives, très claires de lutte contre toutes les formes de violence dans les secteurs culturels et en particulier dans le cinéma. Donc les mesures sont prises. Les mesures sont prises et donc ceux qui sont poursuivis quand ils sont condamnés.
This year's Cannes Film Festival began on the same day as the conviction, and filmgoers reflected on the verdict's potential impact on France's film scene.
Maybe it's going to make people think more about consentment and the place of women and what we can say to girls.
Some figures in the French cinema world have expressed their support for Depardieu. The French film icon has denied the accusations, and his lawyer announced he would appeal the decision.
The 78th Cannes Film Festival opened on Tuesday, bringing together the world's most famous cinema personalities to celebrate another year of storytelling. Day 1 featured a star-studded lineup from world-renowned filmmaker Quentin Tarantino to supermodel Bella Hadid. American actors Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, who've worked alongside each other on 3 occasions, stole the show on the opening day. DiCaprio, who skipped the red carpet, awarded veteran 81-year-old De Niro with an honorary Palme d'Or.
But every once in a while, even the most private of giants deserves their moment. A moment to be acknowledged, not just for their work, but for the quiet, lasting influence they've had on so many lives, on my life. So without trying to speak for the entire world of cinema here tonight, but probably doing it anyway, there's no one more deserving of this Palme d'Or Lifetime Achievement Award than Mr. Robert De Niro.
De Niro, an outspoken critic of Donald Trump, quickly shifted the moment to politics as he slammed the U.S. president for his administration's attacks on arts and culture.
America's Philistine president has had himself appointed head of one of our premier cultural institutions. He has cut funding and support to the arts, humanities, and education. And now he has announced a 100% tariff on films produced outside the U.S. Let that sink in for a minute. You can't put a price on creativity, but apparently you can put a tariff on it. Of course, this is unacceptable. All these attacks are unacceptable.
The opening ceremony concluded a hectic day which featured a 3-film tribute to Ukraine and the premiere of a restored version of Charlie Chaplin's iconic The Gold Rush, which celebrates its centenary this year. French actress Juliette Binoche will head the 78th edition of the festival's jury. The jury, which also includes Halle Berry and Jeremy Strong, will watch all 22 films vying for this year's Palme d'Or and decide on the recipient on the 24th of May.